reported today in The Verge. Go read this New Yorker profile of William Gibson, the father of cyberpunk. Nearly 4 decades ago, William Gibson published a short story called Burning Chrome in Omni magazine, and with it, he birthed cyberpunk. It also coined the term cyberspace in its third sentence. The story prefigured Neuromancer, Gibson's first novel and most enduring achievement. Burning Chrome taught its readers how to think about the colorless non-space between our screens. In this week's issue of The New Yorker, Joshua Rothman, the ideas editor of the magazine's website, spends a lot of time with the author for a profile, and he elegantly lays out the roots of his fiction in a long, textured piece. Perhaps counterintuitively, Rothman finds that, for Gibson, writing plausible futures begins with a deep engagement with the present. His trilogies, he tends to write novels in threes, are all responding to the world he finds himself living in. With each set of 3 books, I've commenced with a sort of deep reading of the fuckedness quotient of the day, he explained. I then have to adjust my fiction in relation to how fucked and how far out the present actually is. He squinted through his glasses at the ceiling. It isn't an intellectual process, and it's not prescient, it's about what I can bring myself to believe. Some other fascinating details: Gibson loves techwear, the functional, futuristic, quasi-military clothing you see everywhere from Tokyo to San Francisco. He and his wife, Deborah, have a large cat named Biggles. He has some real expertise in watches. What's most striking about Rothman's profile, though, is the way it delineates Gibson's ongoing attachment to, and relationship with, the zeitgeist. I found it particularly instructive when Rothman detailed a realization Gibson had about the internet, about how cyberspace has begun to change the physical world. Here's Rothman. In the past, going online had felt like visiting somewhere else. Now being online was the default, it was a here, while those awkward no-service zones of disconnectivity had become our there. Checking his Vancouver bank balance from an ATM in Los Angeles struck him suddenly as spooky. It didn't matter where you were in the landscape, you were in the same place in the datascape. Everything, in other words, has become a search term, a portal through which you can access, immediately and nearly everywhere, the sum total of human knowledge on any subject. The meditation ends with Gibson telling Rothman he'd learned about the planes hitting the World Trade Center from a forum he frequented. There's no question that we live in a version of Gibson's richly imagined cyberscapes. Our present has been incontrovertibly influenced by the stories he's been telling us for the last 40-odd years. But at the same time, there's also no question that for more on this story, visit the news article link.